In the business world, it's dog eat dog, and you need every bit of competitive edge you can possibly get. Whether you're a salesperson, an entrepreneur, a small business owner, or corporate executive, you've landed on the podcast that gives you that edge and more. This is the Business Coach Unplugged podcast. Exploring the strategies, tactics, and mindset shifts needed to elevate your business and leadership skills to new heights. Your host has walked the walk. He's coached thousands of clients to remarkable results and rubbed shoulders with legends like Tony Robbins, Ken Blanchard, Jack Canfield, and Brian Tracy. It's practical advice, inspiring stories, and the occasional dose of tough love, helping you to overcome challenges and seize opportunities. This is the Business Coach Unplugged podcast. And now your host, owner of Potential in Motion, coaching you to the edge of what's possible, Tom Kelly.
Welcome to the Business Coach Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Tom Kelly. In today's episode, I want to explore an area of human behavior that shows up consistently with my coaching clients and most likely shows up for you as well. Just recently, I was doing a coaching session with a client of mine who happens to be a sales manager. He was in the process of goal setting with each of his salespeople, and one of the areas he was struggling with is the lack of growth mindset that his salespeople had. Tom, it seems my salespeople just don't have any motivation to grow or go to the next level. How do I get them out of their comfort zone? I'm motivated, but it seems that most of them are completely happy with where they're at. That's a great question, isn't it? How do you get someone out of their comfort zone? Maybe even a better question is, how do you get yourself out of a comfort zone? I always tell my clients that there are three things I will do for you as your coach. The first thing I do is help my clients solve their problems or overcome their challenges. Most people hire me because they have some sort of problem or challenge that they haven't been able to overcome. So of course, I'm going to help them with that. The second thing I'll do for you as my client is to help you create more problems. Most people laugh when I say this, as who really wants more problems, right? In reality, though, as you evolve and grow your business, inherently you're going to have more challenges and problems, and that's a good thing. The final thing that I will do for you is help you reach your potential, not only as a business owner or leader, but as a human being. What's interesting is I find that once we solve those initial problems or challenges, my clients fall back into a comfort zone and usually come to the conclusion that everything is good. The coaching worked, and now we can stop working together. We're all good, right? If you're like most people, this is all too familiar. When you live your life in the comfort zone, as long as things are going well, you're good. When things start to get bad, then you kick yourself in the ass and start working harder. And when things are going really well, you sit back and count your money and bask in your success. It's like living a life where every day is 72 degrees. Not too hot and not too cold. While that might seem great, in reality, living in a place where you're comfortable keeps you stuck and, quite frankly, unmotivated. If you find yourself in a comfort zone lately and are wondering how to break free from it, today's episode is for you. I'm going to talk you through a model that I use often with my clients that will help you define 4 different levels of success, determine exactly what level you're at right now, and the exact strategy and mindset that you need to have to propel yourself to the next level. This will help you define exactly what you want, why you want it, and what shifts you need to make to get yourself re-engaged and highly motivated again so that you can break through your existing comfort zone and usher in a whole new level of success for yourself and your business. So let's jump in and I'll teach you exactly what you need to do to solve this problem once and for all. The model that I use to help my clients get out of their comfort zone is something I call the 4S model. Imagine a pyramid with 4 levels to it. The first level is survival, the second level is stability, the third level is success, and the fourth level is significance. You can use this model for any area of your business or life, but today I'll do a simple example with you in the area of personal finance. If you want to play along with me, you might want to take out a piece of paper and simply draw a pyramid with 4 levels to it. Again, the levels from the bottom up are survival, stability, success, and significance. I'm going to have you start at the first level, survival. What I'd like you to do is write down the amount of money that you would need to make just to barely survive. What's the amount that will allow you to barely pay your bills and just be living from check to check? This number should be the bare minimum that's required to keep your current standard of living, or maybe just a tad below that. You can live at this level, but it won't be comfortable. Now I want you to think about what success looks like to you from a financial standpoint. What do you need to be making on a month-to-month basis so that you feel stable and comfortable? This should be an amount that will allow you to easily pay your bills, live comfortably, save for things like retirement and your kids' education, and allow you to buy the things that you want, as well as take an occasional nice vacation and that sort of thing. This is what you would define as your comfort zone. Now go ahead and write that number on the second level, stability. The third level is success. This is the level where you've arrived. Perhaps you're in the top 10% of people in your profession, or you live in your dream home. At this level, you have plenty of money, don't have to worry about paying your bills, and get to live a life that you never thought possible. In fact, you probably have generational wealth and might even feel a little guilty about making this much money. Think about what you need to make on a monthly basis to feel you're at success level. Go ahead and write down your number for success. The final level is significance, or what I like to call Bill Gates level. This is where the top 1% reside. You have generational wealth, probably own multiple businesses, and hang out with people that at this point you could only dream about hanging out with. You're able to take time off to travel the world, have a surplus of money to provide your family with enough wealth that will last for generations. Now write down that number on the significance level. Now that you have defined the 4 levels, which level are you currently at? How does that feel? What do you notice about the difference between the levels? If you're like most people, you probably find yourself at stability or success. In my experience, though, if you're really honest with yourself, you probably see yourself at a level above from what your actual current reality is, as most of us tend to overestimate where we are. Now that you've defined the levels of the model and know where you're at, it's time to explain how you move from one level to the next. What's interesting about this model is that a different strategy and a different mindset is required at each level. For example, do you think Mark Cuban has a different strategy and mindset now that he's at significance level than he did when he was at survival level, living on the floor of a small apartment before he made any money? Of course he does. What's most interesting about this model is that I also call it the 4 levels of conflict, because you have to significantly shift your mindset and go through some major conflict to move from one level to the next. Let me give you an example of what I mean. One of my clients recently took the trip of a lifetime to a very posh and expensive luxury resort in the middle of tropical paradise. This is a sort of trip that not many people can afford, and therefore created some interesting challenges with my client's mindset. He refrained from telling most of his friends and clients where he was going, and didn't really share any pictures on social media. The trip was basically a well-kept secret from everyone except those in his inner circle. He was concerned that people would see him in a different way if they knew where he had gone, and that he could afford a trip like that. What would his clients think if they knew he made that much money? How about his friends and family? Would they be jealous? See him in a different light? Would it change their friendship? These are all things that popped into his mind. The reality here is that what keeps us stuck in stability mode is our mindset. We define stability by what's comfortable to us. So inherently, when it comes to getting to a higher level, it requires us to deal with our own limiting beliefs, our fears, and redefine what's possible. It also requires us to have a different strategy in order to be successful at that level. So you have to clearly define and understand what your mindset needs to look like at each level, and also have a strategy that will work at that level. Additionally, you can't skip levels. Each level has its own unique struggles and lessons that need to be learned before you can get to the level above it. And there's no real cheat code to skip those lessons. The key to getting to the next level then is to clearly define what your mindset needs to be, and also understand what strategy you need to use to have success at that level. The easiest way to do this is to identify a role model or mentor that is already at the next level where you want to be at, and learn from them exactly what your mindset needs to be, as well as what strategies will help you get there. This will help you establish the gaps in your mindset and strategy, and also help you to see that the next level is achievable for you. You can look to people that are in proximity to you for this, like role models and mentors that you work with, or you can find books and courses from thought leaders in those areas that you're looking to improve in. What I want for you is for you to be able to leverage the 4S model for any area of your life or business. Simply pick the area that you want to grow and go to the next level in, and define what each level looks like specifically. Then identify what your mindset needs to be, then the strategy that's needed at each level. If you're not sure what that looks like, role model someone that's already having success at that specific level. Now you know where you need to go and where you are right now. Then it's just a matter of closing the gap. If you're looking for some help defining the different levels on your 4S model, or need some coaching on how to close your gaps, please head to my website at www.businesscoachchicago.com and sign up for a complimentary coaching session. I'll help you define each level, we'll establish the gaps and the things you need to work on, and you'll walk away with a clear plan to get there. So that wraps up today's podcast on how to use the 4S model to propel yourself to a whole new level of success. This is a great tool that you can use in any area of your life and business. It will help you define where you are, where you want to go, and help you see the shifts in mindset and strategy that will get you there. It will help you get out of your comfort zone and make a permanent shift to a whole other level of achievement and success. If you found today's episode useful, you can also access a number of free resources that will help you improve your business, as well as your leadership on my website at www.businesscoachchicago.com. Also, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, as I would love to connect with you. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the podcast, please click the subscribe button, leave a review, and of course, invite your friends to listen in as well. I'm Tom Kelly, and until next time, enjoy your week.
You've been listening to the Business Coach Unplugged podcast. On this highly useful podcast for people in the business world, you get the absolute top-notch info from an absolute pro on how to elevate your business and your leadership skills. Tom Kelly owns Potential in Motion, coaching you to the edge of what's possible. He's also a professional speaker and leadership trainer. He's worked with some of the biggest names in the coaching business: Tony Robbins, Ken Blanchard, Jack Canfield, Brian Tracy. To sign up for a complimentary coaching session and to access some great free resources, hit the website at businesscoachchicago.com. Your success is not just a possibility, it's a certainty. See you next time on the Business Coach Unplugged podcast.